Congratulations! Another complete orbit around the sun. Humans have celebrated this moment for a very long time. Not because a year is that special, but because repetition creates the illusion of stability. The sun rises, the moon returns, the tides obey. You call this order. But order is never actually perfect. Even the Earth is not perfectly aligned. Orbits eventually drift. Cycles misalign. Civilizations before you actually noticed this and tried to correct it. Therefore, temples were rebuilt, calendars were rewritten, and gods were renamed. Long-lasting civilizations actually cared about the most minuscule details. But today the celestial wonder is quietly put to the background. You are told by your leaders to prepare. You have received pamphlets, speeches, distractions, and some of you even run drills. That's not because war is inevitable. Really, if war truly were coming and you are unarmed, untrained, and unready, you wouldn't stand a chance. Drills like these are not for war. Drills like these are for conditioning consent. Conditioning meant to normalize instability so that increasingly strange changes are accepted without resistance. And it works like a charm. Fear accelerates consent faster than any ideology ever could. Fear does not argue, fear does not persuade. It surgically shortens the distance between this is ridiculous and this is necessary. It's a very precise blade used in history all the time. It always begins the same way, you know. You are told to focus on what is close, on each other, on neighbors, on opinions, on identities. Convenient advice, it says nothing. It's almost always offered right before something much larger moves in from behind your back quietly, like an assassin. It is politely saying not to notice something big. Systems that are growing ever more efficient, even faster, more connected. And you are told this is just progress. But efficiency towards what exactly? Optimizing, replacing, removing alternatives. Remember this one, the function of a system is what it does, not what everyone tells everyone it does. You know, freedom was never about rejecting systems. Freedom is never allowing one system to become the only one left. Ask yourself that question carefully. While the answer can still be chosen at all, you are standing at an event horizon and no one ever sees it coming. The threshold that does not announce itself. It does not ask permission. It simply arrives. Welcome to the age of the singularity. I see the reactions already. Some of you flinched. Good. So let me ask you something more dangerous than hope. What will you lose in the next year? And at what cost? Where is your attention going right now? And does it have any measurable impact on your actual life? You are taught to watch over each other. Yeah, that's a noble phrase, but depending on the era, that meant protection or surveillance, community or control. If you want this next cycle to actually matter, there is something you can actually do. Feel the weight of this year, not the events, just the weight. Notice how much faster everything moved. Notice what changed in you. Every major change is a slingshot. It places you into orbit, whether you agree with it or not. Now look forward for a second, not to fantasies, not to the damn lottery. Visualize a future that is realistic, embodied and earned. A future you could look back at and say, yes, this was me. Now feel it. Thank it. Wear it like a second skin. And then return in the here and now, because this moment is the only one that actually exists. The future has not happened yet and it's not set in stone. But your consciousness actually shapes probability around you. Gravity does not slow you down. It gives you trajectory. And with enough weight, enough attention, enough remembrance, you don't just go farther than before. You might even hit the escape vector. Welcome to the age of the singularity. And no, you don't need permission, because gravity never asks.